some negative things that I've been doing as well that were not good for me. I'm bearing all today, so let's get into it. Welcome back, Awakening Beauties. So happy to have you with me today. My name is Robin, and this year I am doing a no-buy year. And if you don't know what a no-buy year is, let me just briefly explain. I'm not buying any clothes, accessories, makeup, skincare, or housewares unless I need a replacement item, such as if something expires or I run out of a product. And it's been challenging. But not as challenging as I thought it would be. I mean, I should take that back. It has been challenging. Don't get me wrong. I love clothes. I love shoes. I love buying makeup. I love trying new skincare. And so it has been challenging. But there have been times in my life where I've been forced into no-buy situations because financially just couldn't afford it. And I had to have these come to Jesus moments. So it's not the first time that I've gone through an extended period of time without doing any shopping, but it's the first time that I set an intention to do it for an entire year. And despite what my financial situation may be, which is actually not so bad compared to times in the past, but it came out of a need to sort of reset my relationship with shopping. I found myself a year ago buying a lot of things, spending a lot of money on things that either I didn't need or were just sort of impulse purchases, or were bought out of like sort of fear because I was turning 50 last year and I started buying some products, skincare and things like that, and I was sort of freaked out like, oh no, like this train is headed one direction and I've got to do something to slow the train down before it goes off the rails. So listen, I love aging because aging means that I'm still alive, and I am very much accepting of where I'm at in the aging process. I'm always trying to improve my health and improve my appearance in different ways. You know, it's not like I'm just not caring about those things anymore. I do care about those things. I talked about my Nira laser, and Nira sent me a Laser Pro. I was so delighted when I received it, when they offered me to send it as to be an affiliate for them, and I'm using that. I will do a follow-up on what my results are with that, but it's not that I'm not trying to take care of myself, but I am accepting of the aging process and that it will continue to happen. And I saw what my grandmother looked like. I sort of understand my destiny. So what this video is about, though, is how I've been coping with doing a no-buy year. Now we are more than 9 months into the year. I only have about 3.5 months left of a no-buy year. And so I just sort of wanted to talk about sort of the strategies that I have been using to cope with not shopping, ways that I've sort of gotten around my parameters a little bit, which if you've been watching my channel, you'll know what they are. And there's been some negative things that I've been doing as well that were not good for me. I'm bearing all today, so let's get into it. So most of the shopping that I tend to do is online shopping, and it probably is the same for you guys. I don't have a lot of time to go out to the stores and just casually browse and look for things. And I mean, I haven't done mall shopping like that for myself in quite a while. So most of my shopping is online. And so some of the things that I've been doing to cope or to take up my time, actually having this channel right here, making videos consistently as I'm able to, since I work full-time. So on the weekends, I'm making videos and I'm trying to make content whenever I can and then edit those videos. And every video is probably a good 5 hours worth of filming, editing, and any research I have to do before I make the video. So that's taking up some time. Other ways I've been coping with not being able to shop have been my declutters and my 30-day wardrobe challenge. I've made videos about that where I've tried to put together 30 days worth of outfits, and I tried to put them together in new ways that I hadn't worn them before. You can check some of those out on my Instagram, where I've documented my 30-day wardrobe challenges before, and I'm sure I'll be doing another one. I'm planning to do another one before the end of the year, so we'll round out the year with another 30-day wardrobe challenge. But doing decluttering, I've done some closet decluttering, and I did a shoe declutter, and that was really difficult for me to part ways with shoes, because I don't know about you, but I love shoes, and it's really hard for me to get rid of a pair of shoes. But I just found that I had to make this space in my life. I've been sort of playing a little bit with minimalism and the idea of a minimalist wardrobe. And it's not really 100% for me, which I found out when I tried to do a 30-day minimalist. But as a result, like, of decluttering, of taking things out of my closet that didn't fit me, because I've gained a little bit of weight this year, which I'll get into. I think that's been part of my coping mechanism of eating, but we'll get into that. But things that didn't fit me, and there were a lot of things that just didn't feel like me anymore. And I don't really know what to account for that, if I'm just in a different phase of life right now. If paring down, looking at my emotions, looking at my shopping habits and what those are indicative of, the psychological reasons that I was shopping more last year, the things that I was using shopping to cover over. I don't know if it's just that paring down process that sort of has led me to a more minimalist wardrobe. Just naturally, it has happened. I still love color. You'll see it in a couple of my videos where I'm wearing that bright pink sweater. I have my orange sweater on today, which I pulled out because it's almost fall, and I live in South Florida and we really don't get seasons, but I love the idea of fall, and I'm hoping to get up north for fall just to see those leaves change this year. But I still love color, and I still love print, but right now I don't love it for me. And so I'm just sort of rolling with it and seeing where this leads me and enjoying the process and allowing it to unfold naturally. Some of the other things that I did in the beginning was I unsubscribed from a few shopping sites, and I don't think that this is necessarily a requirement. I think it might be if that's a real trigger for you to spend money. I was doing it more to declutter my email, and I swear, it feels like I unsubscribe from one thing and I get automatically subscribed to other things that I did not sign up for. And I don't understand it. I wish there was a way to block all of it. But yeah, I'm just trying to declutter my email as well. But part of my job as a fashion designer, I'm a fashion designer by trade, and part of my job is looking at the trends, looking at the current fashions to see what's trending, what colors are trending, what silhouettes are trending. And so that makes not wanting to shop just a little bit more tricky, because I am looking at dozens of websites on a weekly basis. And I'm looking at trend reports, and so it does sort of stir up that feeling of, ooh, I wish I could get something new. I really love the way that looks. And I have to be honest, that's been a little tricky. And one of the ways that I cope with that is, I've mentioned this many times in my videos, that I use an Athleta MasterCard for virtually all of my purchases. And so I earn reward points. And so I have obtained some things this year from either Old Navy, Gap, Banana Republic, and Athleta. I've gotten a few things here and there using my reward points. And I've had to ask myself, is this continuing the cycle of wanting things? And so what I'll do is I will put things that I like in my cart and I'll just leave them there. I won't buy anything. I won't push the buy. And then I'll let it sit there for a few weeks. And if I have enough reward points and I still want it after that time, then I did from time to time over the past few months push purchase. And so I essentially got those things for free. But, I haven't bought anything in a couple of months with my reward. So my reward points are accruing. And I kind of am at the point now where I am thinking I'm not going to use any more reward points this year. I still am getting that feeling of wanting something, and then I've been able to sort of scratch that itch by buying something using my reward points. And so it's almost felt like a little cheat in a way. And I know that it's like I gave myself permission to do that. In fact, I did not use my reward points until May. I said, I want to make it to May before I even start using these reward points that I had acquired during the holidays last year. So now, I'm accruing more points, and I'm just sort of feeling like I don't want to scratch that itch anymore for the rest of the year, because I really want to see how it feels, because I am feeling that, and I'm calling it an itch, that little nudging of wanting something new. It's not a hard and fast rule, like I said, but I'm really wanting to go through the rest of this year, which is only another 3.5 months, without using those reward points and being content with what I have, and not, because the point of this year is quelling that feeling of being able to be a babysitter to myself in a way, a parent to myself, of saying, you don't need that thing and you're fine without it. And this feeling, this too shall pass. So that's where I'm at with how I've been coping with, that feeling, is just telling myself, this too shall pass. And, you can put those things in your cart if you want. And in a few months, if it's still in stock and you still want it, then I will reconsider at that time whether I will purchase it. Now there's some negative things. There's some negative things that I've been doing that are not great, that I was using to cope with not shopping. And one of those is watching more TV. I will say that when I started this no-buy year, I had began working only a couple months prior to that at a new job that was full-time and further away from my home. So I'm spending a lot more time commuting to and from work, and I'm working longer hours. And so it's a lot more responsibility with this job, and everything that comes with that. So I have found that I was tired, and mentally I just couldn't really focus on anything else, just to sit down and watch some TV. And so I have found, I don't have cable, but Netflix, watching Netflix. And because I was asking my husband before I started filming, I'm like, what are the things that you've noticed that I've been doing to cope with my no-buy year? And he said, well, he couldn't really think of anything, and I had already written down watching more TV. And he said, you are watching more TV. And I said, I know. And I don't know if it's because I'm not shopping, or if it's just a natural progression of what my life has been with this new job. So anyways, I think maybe the watching TV a little bit more has something to do with it, because I'm not scratching that itch, like I said. And there's other itches that I have. Eating differently, eating maybe more than I was before. So, starting a new job where your commute is longer, your hours are longer, your schedule has changed. My schedule definitely changed, and I was no longer having the time that I used to have to work out with a trainer. I have now gotten a trainer over the past few weeks, so I am doing that again. But I also, as a part of my no-buy here, I just decided that my gym membership was a waste of money because I wasn't using it, and so I did cancel that gym membership as well. So I wasn't working out as much, hardly at all, as a matter of fact, and I know that my eating habits changed, and so that led to some weight gain. And I'm working to get that off now, and it ain't easy at 50 years old, but I'm working on it. So those were a couple of things that I noticed that I was it was probably a mixture of coping with starting a no-buy year, but also coping with starting a new job as well. So there was something else that I was doing as a coping mechanism. And I'm not proud of it. And it's not something that, it's something that I'm just gonna confess. I'm gonna confess right here that 2 years ago when I went to Peru, I was out in the jungle and laying in my hammock, some mupachos, and they gave me some mupachos. If you don't know what that is, that's like a hand-rolled type of cigarette. And so I started smoking mupachos. And I loved it, and I really enjoyed it when I was in Peru. And when I came home, I started smoking, and I'm not proud of that at all. But I loved the ritual. I rolled my own cigarettes. I bought the tobacco and the filters, and I was rolling my own. And really, that stepped up towards the end of last year with the stress of being at a new job. So I knew I wanted to quit smoking, and I knew that financially it got expensive, and I knew I wanted to quit. And I made a couple of attempts this year, and so finally I've broken the habit. I quit 6 weeks ago, and this last time when I quit, I was like, I knew it was for good. I knew, the other times, I quit for a month and then I started back, and then I quit for a month and I started back. I knew it wasn't, I didn't feel the permanency of quitting. And now I feel the permanency of it. And it's been, like I said, 6 or 7 weeks now. And I just made up my mind. And I'm like, that's how strong we are. We can just make up our minds about something. And yes, I was physically addicted, for sure. I was emotionally addicted because I loved the ritual of coming home and sitting on my back porch and rolling my little cigarette and smoking, and it felt so good, and I loved it, and I really enjoyed it, and I missed the ritual of it, but I don't miss the knowing that it's harming my health, and I don't miss the money that I was spending, which when I started adding it up, I'm like, each one of these little packs of tobacco are about $10, and I'm going through 2 or 3 a week, so it's like $30 a week, and I'm doing a no-buy year, and this is definitely not helping my no-buy year by spending $30 a week on something like this. I don't need any congratulations. I did what I knew I was going to do and what I should have done. But, every time I've been trying to quit smoking this year, it's also been, like so many people will tell you, that they start maybe eating more or whatnot. And so I think that contributed to 5 pounds here and then 5 pounds here. So it adds up. But now I feel like I'm on a really healthy trajectory. Like I said, I've hired a personal trainer. I've been working with her I started working with her right before I quit smoking. So it's been a couple of months that I've been working with her. And so something positive that I have added back into my life that's helping me to cope with stress from life and helping me cope with stress from not being able to shop is I've been working out. So they put in a gym at the office complex where I work. And so I've been going to that little gym a couple of nights a week, and then another night a week I go work out with my trainer that I met in the Athleta fitting room. And so it's been really good. I feel myself getting stronger, and I've been meeting up with a friend, go for a nice walk, and so I'm just trying to add those things into my life. And I'm also making some healthier food choices as well. And I think like coming to terms with my no-buy year, it's really sort of struck me now, because the cravings for certain things that I wanted to buy and things that I'm thinking, oh, it's only 3.5 months until I can buy that. It's still there. But I'm like a nice little parent telling my inner child, you can wait. This is not a necessity. You don't need this right now. This feeling will pass. And that's sort of what I've been doing. I've also been doing more improv. I don't know if you follow my channel, but I've put up a couple of improv performances that I've had in the past couple of months. And so that's been a good distraction too, because I've been having more practices with my teams, and I've been getting coached with and taking classes. And this is good advice for any of you who are trying to do a no-buy year, that, or maybe you're just trying to do a no-buy week or a no-buy month, that you sometimes do have to put things in its place that will fill you up and bring you joy, and that will be a better substitute than going out and just mindlessly spending money on things you don't need. So, bringing things into my life that are meaningful and having experiences, that was one of the things that I definitely did not want to give up, is spending money on experiences, like travel experiences. So one thing I can just kind of throw in here too is that I've been doing a bit more reading. That was one of the things that my husband commented on. He's like, you've been reading more. And I said, yeah, still not as much as I would like to be reading, or that I used to. I mean, I used to be a voracious reader, and I don't know what has happened to me through the years, but yeah, I am reading more. And so that's another thing that I've been doing to cope with not spending. And I tried to make a list for myself at the beginning of the year of things that I would do to help to cope with not spending, and reading was on there. I had exercise on there, but I really didn't have a long laundry list of you can do this instead of spending money. Reason being is that I was so overwhelmed at the beginning of the year because, like I said, I had just started a new job and my life had gotten so hectic that the idea of adding anything into my life was just too overwhelming at the time. And it's still a bit that way when I think about things that I can add in to work out more, or things that I can do, that are good for me. It up until now, it's been too overwhelming, and it was just too much, and I couldn't think about it. I had to take things out, and some of the things I took out of my life, and I know this doesn't have anything to do with how I'm coping with not spending, but it actually might have. It might be things that were adding stress. I stopped doing Duolingo. It was stressing me out. And then I lost my 280-day streak, and I was so mad at Duolingo for taking it away from me because I just didn't have time to practice. I just forgot. I was exhausted by the time I got home from work and couldn't focus on freaking Duolingo. And they took away my I think it was a 280-day streak. It was pretty high. And so I haven't started back, and I just was like, I need a break. I got to turn off all of these notifications. I turn off notifications for most of my apps because it's just constant somebody needing or wanting something from you, a constant distraction. and I need things to get more quiet in my life. So something that I'm thinking a lot about is, what am I going to do next year? Am I going to do I'm definitely going to do a low buy year. It's not going to be a no buy year, but it will be a low buy year. And especially after I look at my finances for this third quarter. The third quarter is coming up. I'll probably have that video. It'll be mid-October, mid to late October. But looking at my spending habits and seeing how I've improved and where I need improvement. But I do intend to make myself a budget for reviewing products on this channel. That's one of the things that I love makeup, and I would have loved this to be a beauty channel, but I didn't buy any makeup this year, so I couldn't review any beauty products really. And so that's something that possibly will become more a part of my channel next year. And just for my own self, of things that I've been wanting to buy, I still want those BK beauty brushes. I still want them. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about them anymore. I was supposed to get them for Christmas last year, and I didn't because they sold out. I still want those brushes, so we'll see if I get those next year. Yeah, so I'm thinking about what next year is going to look like. It's definitely going to be a low buy year for me. I'm going to keep this going because I don't want to fall back into some bad habits of impulse buying things that I don't need, or buying things out of fear, like, oh my God, I need this product because my face is looking a certain way. I need to lift and snatch. Lift and snatch, lift and snatch. I sound like a crazy person. So as I'm going into these last 3 months of the year, I know there are lessons that I am learning now that I don't even know that I'm learning, and that probably next year things will become even clearer to me about what this no buy year has meant. And that's why I really don't want to use reward points to get anything for the next few months, because I want to sit with this feeling. And it's kind of funny because I know that these next 3 months we're getting into the holidays, and this is typically the time of the year when people spend the most amount of money, and certainly I do. And so I'm thinking about, how can I take what I've learned this year so far, and the ways that I've been honoring my money and not spending on frivolous things, how can I take that into this coming holiday season? And also doing a low buy for the holidays. You don't have to spend a lot of money on gifts and things like that. And certainly, there's nothing that either my husband or I need. There's nothing that we need. This is all wants. And taking this sort of attitude into this holiday season, and just with Christmas ornaments and decorating, I have my decorations. I don't need anything else. And I always like to buy a few new things because I didn't grow up celebrating the holidays. In case you don't know, I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and we didn't celebrate holidays. So I've only been celebrating holidays for the past few years. And so every year I've been trying to buy more things to build up my collection of holiday decor. But this year, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be content with what I have. So yes, going into the holidays, I am carrying this feeling of not wanting things, not wanting to want things. In other words, not wanting to want things, and doing a low buy for the holidays. I really do want to set a strong intention and a budget for what we can spend on gifts this year. And because it can get away from you so fast. You just you're going out to TJ Maxx and you're like, oh, look at this, oh, so they would like this, they would like that, ooh, I would like this, I would like that. Before you know it, you have a $500 cart and you just went there for socks. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I really appreciate if you'd comment below and let me know what you're thinking and how you're going to cope with the holidays this year, if you have a plan, a budget, and what you're planning to spend on the holidays this year. Are you doing a low buy as well? Or do you think we only live once? Let's just spend as much as we want. Who cares? And if that's what you think, and if that's how you feel, I got no judgment, because I've done that too. But thanks so much for watching. And if you wouldn't mind, give this a like. That really helps. And if you're not subscribed, and like 99% of you are not subscribed, please subscribe. I encourage you to continue with me on my journey. And if you're feeling really brave, hit that notification bell, and that just simply lets you know when I've uploaded videos so that you don't miss anything. Well guys, until next time, again, thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. And you know what? You're still doing great.